If you want to support the predator poachers catching the sickest both near and far, go to the pinned comment. If you're on Rumble, press the red join button to see over 30 videos early and uncensored for only $8 a month. We can't do this without your help, so join our locals.
This channel is a group of investigative journalists who make educational documentaries showcasing and educating society, especially parents and legal guardians, about potential scenarios that result from young people and adults conversating online if left unchecked. We conduct thorough interviews with consenting adults in an attempt to understand their perspective on why they partake in these conversations online with people that are not of age. The goal of the interviews in these videos and the videos themselves is to gain an understanding of the perspective of the individual being interviewed, so parents and the rest of society can be educated and aware of potential thought processes and desires of adults online to unsupervised persons not of age. These videos are not to cyberbully, harass, degrade, accuse, or threaten any individuals partaking in the interview process or in the video itself. We do not condone any of these actions. These videos are strictly educational, and we grant full permission for academia, which is any classroom setting or in scholarly papers, to show or cite our videos. To ensure that these videos are strictly used for educational purposes, we strictly adhere to YouTube's community guidelines, such as not revealing someone's personally identifiable information, in other words, PII. YouTube defines personally identifiable information as their home address, email addresses, signing credentials, phone numbers, passport number, medical records, or bank account information. We thoroughly look at and edit our videos to ensure that none of this information about any individual is shown in our videos. To ensure extra privacy for each person that is a subject of an interview in any of our videos, as of September 1st, 2022, to thoroughly comply with YouTube's harassment and bullying policy, there will be no mention or information about the last name or first name of any person interviewed in our videos. Due to potentially illegal activities discussed in our videos, law enforcement in the respective jurisdiction we conduct these interviews in is notified of each interview and video filmed by us. We are not accusing any individual interviewed of being guilty or committing a crime. That is the job of law enforcement. We are not vigilantes, and we do not condone vigilantism or vigilante behavior, such as taking the law into your own hand or not notifying law enforcement when a suspected crime takes place. We are investigative journalists. Trigger warning. Some of what can be discussed in these videos can be sensitive to some, emotional, or stressful. The only goal of these videos is to educate the public. At the end of each video, as of September 1st, 2022, there will be an educational portion at the end to discuss what was talked about in the video and to discuss what people can take from that video and learn from and tell others about. Our goal here is to bring awareness and educate the public. Now the video will start.
How's it going, Brent? Nice to meet you. My name's Gordon.
Thanks.
Good handshake. Here to talk to you about Brian, okay? You want to just have a seat right there? We're filming for your safety because I'm a bigger dude. I just want you to know I'm not here to hurt you or take any money from you, okay? How long have you been working here for? It smells great in here.
I've been here for 3 years.
Nice. You get paid okay?
Yeah.
Nice, man. Good enough to support one man?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You live pretty close to here, huh?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. You like working here?
Yes.
Awesome, dude. So you all sell candles? Yeah, no problem.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. All right.
Sorry about that.
No problem, dude.
Yes.
Okay. So do you kind of know what I'm here to talk to you about? You seem like an honest guy. Because you got to be honest, work hard and do all that.
Yeah.
Appreciate your honesty. What am I here to talk to you about? Brian. Okay. How old is Brian?
13. Well, he told me.
Well, yeah. You know. Unless he looks like an old man, which I think he does. He said he's 13.
That's what he said.
Okay. Fair enough. How did you all meet each other?
He asked me to be friends on Instagram.
Instagram? Okay. Did y'all talk on anywhere else besides Instagram?
No.
Don't talk on Telegram at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a Telegram.
Okay.
Thank you for handling it.
Nobody fucking call, dude. Nobody fucking call. Hey, if anybody else calls, we're ending the fucking stream. I promise you. All right.
Okay. So.
Okay. So, what can I be here to talk to you about with Brian? Like, what kind of happened?
Just exchanging Sorry.
No problem.
Thanks for calling it Campbell Mountain. I thought the spring for my outfit. Is there a fragrance you're looking for? No, unfortunately, no. Not in the, not that one, no. Nothing in the fried pickles. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just leave it, I guess. I don't know. Some troll or something?
It happens all the time.
Okay, a lot of prank calls. Fair enough.
No, I don't have Telegram.
Okay.
I have no idea. To be honest, I have no idea what Telegram is. I just know Insta
Okay, fair enough.
and Snapchat. What? Hello.
Hi. Do we have the birthday one? Yeah. Well, I don't know how to
All right, cut it off.
They're like a code or something.
Real quick. You can do this shit? I swear to God. Knock this stupid shit off.
Typically, it will be in. Have you shopped with us?
Not recently.
No. So it's actually going to be a small one.
You, okay. God, so you only talk on Instagram? Okay. So, I mean, the messages started off pretty cordial from what it looks like and all that. Okay.
How much trouble am I?
I just want to have a conversation with you. I know you're a good person and all that. I just want to talk about it, okay?
No, yeah. I'm obviously, yeah.
Okay. Well, what did y'all talk about that you think could be trouble?
Well, not like we have talked about some stuff, but I'm not comfortable with doing that. Obviously, like I have sent pictures.
Like what?
Of my.
Okay.
Not gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I would never have any type of sex with him. He has asked me if we would, and I said no.
Are you sure you said that?
I have a few times, but then the more I think about it, I can't.
Yeah, I'll just ignore it. I'll just ignore it. Yeah.
I can't,
Okay.
because that's honestly not the person I am.
But have you said yes a few times?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you said yes to?
Just like touching
Like touching what?
him.
Like where? Oh,
Actually,
like with what? Your hands, mouth, or?
just my hands.
Okay. So you talk about basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta ask Brent because, kind of looking at your following list and all that, because I know you're a good dude and I don't want you to get, into some shit you shouldn't be in, you know what I mean? How common is it that, these younger boys under 18 are trying to hit you up, talk to you? Because from what it looks pretty often.
On Insta, yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly block a lot of them.
Okay. How long has that been going on for with them hitting you up?
To be honest, a long time ago. It's been happening, especially with Instagram lately. I've blocked a lot of people on Instagram.
Okay.
Just because they are sending me messages, and then I find out it's a fake account, and or they're saying it's or they're saying
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So number one, I think it's this.
just the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll start the stream again in like 10 minutes, give them one more chance. But if they just do it again, we'll just end it again.
Is this a call?
Yeah. They just make it about themselves. They just think they're helping, but they're not. Oh, fried pickles. Shut the f up. They're just so dumb. Yeah, I'm legit gonna ask them, like, give me the numbers that are calling.
Give me what number?
Just all the numbers that are calling. I want to take them down.
I don't think it shows up.
I'll ask them.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, it's just so immature, bro. Like, we trust them with this shit. Obviously, they're gonna see what he's doing for work and shit. I mean, if they want this shit streamed, they have to be mature about it, straight up.
Charity said she's on standby, so I'll just text her and say.
Okay. I'm thinking those boys probably sent him CP.
No.
He's sitting with it on his phone, I'm sure. Look how nice and mature we're being.
You should probably tell him to close the doors
Oh, yeah.
so people don't come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Hey, Brent, would you mind? Obviously, it's totally up to you, but would you mind maybe closing the doors, because I don't want anybody over here and report you or kind of try to like call Yankee, call like the management and have you lose your job. I'd rather, 'cause I want to protect you. Do you mind just closing the doors? Obviously, I'm not going to hurt you, but thank you. Good call, Sarah. Now to take care of the copyright issue.
No, to be honest.
Yeah. Can you also go ahead and cut the music off and cut the phone line?
You wouldn't. I'm not worried about that.
Appreciate it. You mind cutting the music off too? You too friendly.
I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a company.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not. I mean, obviously, it's voluntary to talk to me. You can kick me out at any time, but I think it's a good
I
conversation.
want to be honest with
Thank you.
And I don't want to get in trouble.
100%.
So I will absolutely delete my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have had numerous people on Instagram ask me to be friends with them.
Yeah.
And they always are. I'm going to be easy and say this. I'm gullible
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Sure.
Still, yes, when it comes to stuff like that, yes.
So, how many over the years of underage accounts have hit you up, you think?
There was Brian,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe 3 other accounts.
And how old were they?
They told me 16,
Okay.
but then at first they would tell me older,
Yeah.
like 18, 19.
Sure. Sure.
And then more of the conversation would go on.
Yeah.
Then they would actually tell me how old they
That they were 16.
underage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did those conversations go with them? Like, was it kind of similar with Brian, or?
No. So there was one that kept asking me to send some money to.
Okay.
He told me he was overage,
Mm-hmm.
and come to find out it was a scam.
Yeah.
So I was sending money, just to be, because I'm a nice guy.
Right.
If somebody asks for money, I'm going to give it.
Can you see who's calling? Can you give me that phone number of who's calling? I think it's probably somebody I know.
Oh.
Does it say who?
Mm-mm.
Here, maybe come and call. Let me see. Here you go.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. It's not your fault.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Obviously. And I mean, whatever happens, happens.
Sure, I understand.
But yes.
Okay. So I do want to bring up some of the messages and or just cut the line off. I'm so sick of this. Or actually, here, what we'll do.
It's Jason.
Let me see. Who's Jason?
I don't know. It could be a customer. I don't know.
Yeah, with a 224 area code.
Yeah.
Hi, hello. Hello. Here, actually, what we should do. So people don't call us. Just leave the phone right here. And you can, of course, do whatever you want with it. Don't think I'm making you, but I think just so we're not distracted, just keeping it like that would probably be best. Let's make sure. Is there a mute button so you didn't hear? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sweet. So,
You're Brian.
well, yeah, I think you're honest enough, and I'll be honest with you. So that's kind of what it was. So here he said, if you need a chat, let me know. I know what it's like to be a gay guy. So it looks like you like older men. What was kind of the point of communicating that to Brian?
I know with him, with it being
Oh my God, dude. I swear to hide the cameras for now.
You guys see it?
Oh yeah, it's all good.
So the reason we got called was we were told that somebody might be causing a disturbance in here. We said somebody was seeing a live stream of it, right? So
No.
that's all we're asking about.
Not at all.
No, it is a live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on with it? Just because like I said, we got a call from somebody not at the mall who was concerned about it, so I was trying to get everything straight.
No.
Yeah, no, not at all. Nothing like that at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a live stream.
Beauty. Okay. You guys are in code for it? That works.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You guys are doing all right?
Dude.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we didn't call him, man. I promise you.
So I know what it's like because I'm gay.
Well, of course. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
And it was a struggle for me. And I just, to be honest, I wanted to be a support, and that was it. And then it evolved into other stuff that, yes, it shouldn't have evolved into.
Have you noticed that's kind of a trend for adult gay males to talk to younger gay boys about kind of some of this stuff?
Yeah,
Okay. Where have you seen that happen?
everywhere,
Like
Everywhere.
online or in person?
especially online.
Okay.
Especially online.
What apps do you
It's-
know that happens on?
So there was a app called not WhatsApp, but Telegram.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know anything about Telegram.
Okay. Well, at one point, it looks like you had a Telegram account.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't remember setting up a Telegram account.
okay.
But there was this Telegram. There's WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
There's
So I reckon you work here, right? Okay. Are all three of y'all employed here or no? Just y'all?
No, but we're just talking to him. It's all good.
What's the nature of the live stream?
they're asking about some of the candles.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We're fine. I promise.
If you want, I can leave it open.
I was gonna say we do have to have the store open during all hours. That's definitely.
Yeah. I'll leave this one open until it's peak hour. These guys are good. They're not doing anything. Yeah. It's quiet.
So you guys work here?
No.
Okay. So
I'm going to be honest, it's just quiet. I haven't been able to.
sure.
What are you guys calling for?
They're asking about candles. And the chairs, the candle.
So you understand our concern, right? Because we got a call from someone saying there was some sort of disturbance. We get it here, you guys have the door closed and locked, you guys are in here, you guys are filming, and it's all kind of odd.
Yeah, I get it.
So did Yankee Candle hire these guys to do some sort of recording?
As far as I know, I don't know. I was told yes, but I'm not 100% sure. What?
So these guys just randomly showed up on some stuff?
It happens all the time. Like, if there's been guys coming in all the time for construction, and none of this it's not communicated to us. So, in stuff like that. Yeah, like, there's no disturbance. I have a couple of customers.
How are they supposed to do it? They're supposed to.
If I just close it. Because I wanted to just focus on this and get these things out. Still have
Yeah. It's like Texas. Yeah. Wow.
So, hey fellas, what's the purpose of what you guys doing here, I guess?
With all due respect, I'm just not going to answer any questions. I just want to talk to him. So I'll be happy to answer them later at a later time. But right now, we're just talking to Brent. So
You understand our concern, though, right?
yeah, 100%. But it's nonviolent. Nobody's threatened anybody, and he's just having a consensual conversation with us. And I'll be happy to tell you at probably a later time. But right now, I'm just talking to him. So
So are you guys hired by Yankee Candle to be here?
no.
Okay. You understand how that sounds kind of odd to us?
I totally understand that, but we're not here trespassing or anything like that. So, with all due, we're just talking to Brent about some personal stuff with him, and that's pretty much it.
Mind if I take a look at those papers?
I'd rather no at the moment, or not right now.
Okay.
So, again, I'll be happy at a later time to talk to y'all, but right now we're talking to him.
Well, right now you're talking to me with all due respect.
Okay. Well, I'm not anymore then.
Okay. Well, I think based on the facts and circumstances that are going on here, I think you guys need to leave.
Okay. Brent, do you want to just continue this after work?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Can I get your phone number?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, hold on a second. Here, you can just put it in here.
Okay. Okay. It's real funny.
All right, here, let me text you real quick. Let me know if you got my text.
Yep.
What's my area code?
Uh,
Absolutely. All right, man. So what time do you get off work?
I get off at, we close at 9.
Okay, I'll just hit you up at 9, man. Take care, bro. All right.
I'll text.
Okay. Where's he at?
I think he's at work.
Yeah, he gets off at 9, though.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, you mind giving him a call?
Okay.
Do you know what's going on?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what's going on, but I don't know. I expect you to not defend him when I tell you. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any weapons on me. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. I'm just going to come closer so I can talk to you better. I'm not going to hurt you or anything like that, okay?
Okay.
I promise you. I promise you I'm not.
We're here, son.
Okay. So, Dan was trying to... Are you...
No.
Okay. Do you live with Dan?
Who's Dan?
I'm sorry, Brent.
I do.
Okay. He was trying to an underage kid for... Okay. So I went by his job today to talk to him. He was totally fine, very cooperative, all right? But unfortunately, some shit got in the way. So I want you to call him, and I want you to tell him that I'm here to talk to him, okay?
Okay.
I'm obviously not here to hurt him. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to take any money from anybody, okay? I just want to talk to him peacefully, all right? Tell him that there's going to be no outside interference, and I just want to talk to him one-on-one. Give him a call right now.
Okay.
I want you to give him a call right now. because I don't want him bringing y'all into this shit. Are you his husband?
His partner.
Okay. I don't want to bring you into shit, man, because I know you're to have nothing to do with it. What's your name?
Okay.
I mean, I figure it's just one of y'all listed on the apartment here. How does he get home?
He either gets a ride or he gets an Uber.
Okay. Got it. So he's being truthful about that.
And how was this happening?
All right. Well, Samir, I'm going to let you know how it happened. Okay. So he met him through Instagram. All right. And
Met him?
Yeah, that's absolutely. He invited him over to his job today.
Good.
Okay. And I know you're a good dude. I know he's a good dude. He just made a mistake, and I understand that. Okay.
So what's gonna happen?
I just want to talk to him. All right.
Someone's at our door.
Yeah. I'm putting it in the speaker. He knows who I am.
Hi, someone stopped by the house that spoke to you earlier today. Can you come home?
Yeah. Do you mind putting it on speaker?
Someone just wants to talk to you when you get here.
Samir, put it on speaker, bro. Hey, Brent. Brent.
Hold on.
Hey, man, it's me from earlier. Brent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Just calm down, Brett.
Hey.
I know.
Hey, listen, dude. I know earlier turned into
Can we
kind
talk a little?
Yeah, absolutely. I know earlier turned into kind of a shit show. Okay. Hold on.
Babe.
Hold on.
It's okay. No, it's okay. No, hold on. Baby. It's Samir.
Yeah. I'm right here, man.
No. No, babe. Please, it's Samir. Can you just calm, babe? It's okay. No, just calm down, please. Babe, baby. Baby, just take a deep breath. I know. Let me call you, babe. Can you just I am here. I will be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath. Okay.
Hey, Brent.
Okay.
No, Brent.
No.
Brent.
See. Okay. Can I, baby? Just don't say stuff like that.
Let me have a word with him.
No, you don't understand.
Is he like this always?
Okay, baby.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
You don't even know him.
Well, I'm gonna.
Okay, I will talk. Okay, babe, I will be. It's okay. I'm not mad. We will handle this. We will figure this out.
Are you kidding?
Okay. Right. Okay. What? What is that?
That's for safety, dude. Because I'm a bigger dude. I want y'all to know that I'm not here to hurt y'all. Take anything from you. It's just.
I mean, I don't want to be on film.
We're not gonna put you on film, dude. I promise
I don't
you.
want him pointing a camera at me.
No,
Can you go back over there?
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna get wet.
This is gonna get.
He's facing that way. He's facing that way. It's facing.
This is gonna turn into a problem.
No. Samir, it's facing that way. Look, you see how it's facing? Just here. You can close the camera. You can just close it. Yeah. See. I just think an understanding of this to figure out why it happened, if it'll ever happen again, and
So
I'm at peace with that.
So how are you involved in this?
Yeah, so basically, these messages were kind of sent to me. We have a group called Kid Protectors USA. We just make sure kids don't talk to adults, adults don't talk to kids, and all that. And I get it, man. Social media is a cesspool.
He told me that there was this person who friended him somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any of the details.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, like, doesn't matter who friends who if it's a
Correct.
underage
No,
kid. Yeah.
But I think, I mean, how do I say this? I don't want to say he has Brent. Like, I don't want to say cognitive. I don't want to throw all of his business out there.
Right.
So, like, I think sometimes, even in our relationship, decision quality hasn't been, you hurt him.
Yeah.
Is not.
Yeah, he's not the most logical, it seems like.
Or, like, he's not slithery. He's not, like, that's not him.
No.
Problems making.
And I will say, to his credit, he was very forthcoming and honest with me, and that's something that I appreciate and work with. You know what I mean? Because do I think that one mistake that's happened the past couple months, do I think that should be the end all be all to everything? Absolutely not. Like I don't endorse him. You know, like if a resolution to this is mental health intervention and internet intervention, I'm at peace with that, man. I'm at peace with that. Just something has to happen, you know. So especially when she gets a little graphic like it did. So, you know, I'm not here to, you know, nor can I legally, but I'm not here to, I'm not a cop, but I'm not here to bust down any doors or to, you know, or take any money or anything like that. I just want Brent to stay away from the wrong people online. I want the people online to stay away from Brent, straight up.
Absolutely.
Just make sure he gets here safely. That's what I'm concerned about. Preferably no St. Paul residents driving up here. No, I'm just kidding.
Why did you say that?
Oh, no reason. Just drivers are worse in St. Paul than Minneapolis, I've noticed. Yeah.
Hi, are you getting home okay? Okay. Are you okay? Okay. Relatively soon. Okay. Okay.
What's the word?
He's gonna be here. He'll be leaving. It's at sea details in a few minutes, like 4 minutes.
For his app thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody's on the way to go get him.
It's a set sea driver details in 4 minutes.
Oh, okay, so that means somebody's on the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my name's Gordon, by the way. I'm sorry to be under these circumstances. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, when he gets here, like, you're just gonna have a discussion with him?
Exactly. Like, I mean, it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. I mean, obviously, you know, y'all the door in my face, but, you know, I went to his job because I didn't want to do it here. And I know he's alone at work. And, you know, I didn't bring, you know, even the cops showed up and I didn't tell them shit. Like, yeah, I didn't call them. I just told them, like, look, I don't have anything to say to you guys. I'm just here to talk to Brent. And, you know, they were like, hey, you should just get going. I'm like, that's totally fine. I'm like, hey, Brent, let's just talk after work. And he's like, okay. But I think, you know, that time he kind of realized, like, oh, I really messed up. So that's probably why he's in that state of mind. But yeah, man, I just want a peaceful conversation with him. And, you know, the only thing I got in my pocket is an iPhone and some keys. So, you know, I presume you have no weapons in the house?
No.
Okay. So,
Well, we're not having this discussion in the house.
okay. Well, yeah, I mean, out here's fine, under there's fine. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, just want to like make sure he's on the right path because there's definitely some people online that are terrible, but there's also some people that are just like a lapse of judgment. That seems to be what his shit is.
I'm not saying this because I'm his partner.
Yeah.
It's that.
You're right.
And I don't even, you don't know him. I know, like, this probably doesn't mean much.
Right.
It's like, I think, yeah.
I get it. And, you know, yeah, it's not like, you know, because there's people that say some really abhorrent stuff. And I'm not saying the stuff he said was, you know, clean, but you can kind of see a difference in some of the stuff that was said versus other people.
Oh, yeah. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Gravity of, like, what was said. Yes, it's still, like, not right, but.
Right.
It's not the extreme of the extreme.
Right. Yeah, and I can tell you, like, I'm not calling the cops over here or anything like that. Like, I just want it resolved. I'm cool to resolve it here, you know.
Want to resolve it. I'm sure he will want to resolve it.
Yeah.
I don't conduct myself that way.
Of course.
Um, so who's that person?
Well, that's just so we do film every interaction for safety reasons because, you know, there's we don't always just come to, you know, some decent apartment in Minneapolis. Sometimes it's like, you know, some trailer park
And they
and
get aggressive.
oh, for sure. And that's definitely prevented some people from, I think, you know, taking it up a notch. And I'm not saying I think you're gonna like be unreasonable and just start doing crazy shit, but you know, there's been times that I've had to defend myself. And you know, if I'm coming to someone's door and you know, they have a black eye, you know, it's gonna look like it's my fault, right? But that's proven that it wasn't my fault. That I would, you know, because you see how I am. You know, I'm not coming at you in any type of way and all that stuff. So, but that's what it's for. And obviously, I'm not here to, you know, put anybody on blast or anything like that. Like I could have, I honestly had a few months to do that, and I chose not to. So,
How long has this been happening?
uh, my memory served me right.
6 months.
No, my memory served me right. I'd say April, so about 3 months. So April, May, June.
Okay.
Yeah. No, and I could tell just talking to Brent for like the 15 minutes I did. He's definitely a good dude. He got some demons to fight, but you know, his heart's in the right place. Like, you know, he told me that, you know, I just want to be honest and I want to get this taken care of. And, you know, I was with him with that, shook his hand and all that stuff. So how long have y'all known Brent for?
I know him for okay, I'm trying to do the math. Over 10 years.
Is that like okay? So have y'all been together for that long, or?
Like platonically for
Okay.
probably like 3.
Yeah.
But at least 7.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. This is very you know, like this is like not happened before.
Mm-hmm.
But like I remember like when we started dating.
Yeah.
Like it was like always younger, not younger, like I don't want to just not my
Yeah.
like younger
Yeah.
gay guys that were of age.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Around.
Right.
Like, so it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, people.
Like social media is like so scary. We watch shows together about like.
Oh, I get it, man. Yeah, social media. You know, it lets people do. You know, what would take a lot of effort to do with the press of a button. You know what I mean? So, not many people, I think, back in the day would go to great lengths to just go, you know, talk to somebody who's so young. But with social media, you can do that in 2 seconds. So he's like, why not?
Okay, so he will get home, but his car does not arrive until 13 minutes from now.
Okay.
Um,
So he doesn't arrive. So it doesn't get to Mall of America till 10, and he'll be home here at like 10:15.
and
Okay.
this you standing here in the rain.
Yeah. No. You know, we're patient people. We're monks. So
Monks?
no, I'm just saying we have the patience of monks.
Okay.
Yeah, I still got some hair left. Not quite a monk, but we got patience. So I mean, I'm not. What door does he usually come in through? This one?
I mean, I don't know. Like usually it's like depends on like the weather, but like
Yeah.
he'll either through this one or, and I'm not gonna do anything like shady. I just want this resolved as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Watching the debate tonight at all, or?
I was starting to, and then I stopped, and then I started straightening up that house, and then the knock, and then I thought like I don't know what was happening, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what's this?
So these here are the messages that he exchanged and the 13-year-old exchanged with each other. including some photos that should not be sent. You get my drift.
Yeah. So what could? So how can this get resolved?
Well, I think when they're a supportive family of somebody, that's probably the best way it can get resolved. And you obviously seem to be supportive of him.
Absolutely.
And it's you seem to be in a good spot where you don't condone what he did, but you also aren't going to write him off because of it either. So
Absolutely to the first and the latter.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
I mean,
I think that's a good balance of what he has for support, and I think just awareness of awareing you of what he did, and I think that's a totally fine resolution, awareing you of what he did, and
I don't. Yeah.
and
Are we sure I'm not getting recorded or like?
yeah, no, it was literally facing down, like yeah.
The light screen though on it.
Wait,
That's just the battery.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like sticking cameras in people's faces.
Well,
It's,
that's kind of that's what's happening. Like he has no purpose here.
That's not putting it down,
Okay.
just so you can,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like
So then, okay, so you were thinking, what's some of the resolution?
yeah. So I think the resolution can kind of be, and look, dude, I got a whole stack here. I'm not gonna be here all night reading. I dropped out of college, so I don't have to read anymore. So like,
And you have to read them all to him.
no. I'm not saying all that shit. That's why I'm not trying to fucking read all that shit. But just kind of get some key points like, yo, what happened here? Why'd you do this? What do you think led you to this? Because I think finding a source of it, because I don't know if he ever told you if he was a kid or not. Oh well, see, he didn't tell me. I didn't get to that point in the conversation with him, but that's something I would want to ask him because there's people that are born this way. There's people that are made that way. You know what I mean? And if Brent had a traumatic experience as a kid, well, shit, that's something that like that matters. I mean that matters. That's I'm not. It's not an excuse, but it's a catalyst, right? So that's something. I'm not saying relive your whole thing, but hey, what age did it happen at? When did you start having these feelings? Because when it comes to the cycle, it is a cycle. You know what I mean? And it's hard to stop. And there's people that go through. They never. That's the last thing they would do, right? But there's people that go through and succumb to that cycle, man. So you telling me that's definitely something that
I mean, I didn't say that.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, off the record, me just finding that out magically somehow. That's
Did I say that?
well, did he go? I said, did he go through as a kid? And you kind of nodded. So,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, that's a very common thing.
I think that's been like not a pain point of our relationship.
Yeah.
I think his upbringing was completely different, like in and out of foster cares.
Oh well.
And
there you go.
I had never experienced that.
Right.
So I think like belonging or like family, like he connected to my family
Mhm.
instantly because he didn't have that.
So he has he doesn't know his birth parents at all. Okay.
And he got to know his birth mother, but then in and out of like
Mhm.
relationships with yeah. So we're polar opposites in that way.
Right, because you have like two parents and all that stuff. Okay.
And like, like yeah,
All right.
very strange. And we like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm no like, I'm no expert. I mean, I've definitely been bamboozled by people, but like, I can tell just by talking to him for 15 minutes, he's definitely a good dude, and he has his heart in the right place. So
It makes some awful decisions.
yeah, but we've all been there, and some people figure that out when they're 10, some people figure it out when they're 20, some people might have to figure it out when they're 42. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But basically, what I want this to be for Brent is the worst and best day of his life. Like he needs to he needs to feel the gravity of what he did, but he also, I mean, shit, man, he's probably halfway done with life at this point on average, and you know, if he just takes that big step forward, all he can do is go up, and this could be the turning point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
So, is it okay if I shut this door?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then, is there a way we can have this conversation not right here?
What do you think the best place is?
I don't know. Because like we have like neighbors on these walls, or like.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was thinking like, I've had conversations inside with people, but I totally understand if that's not something you're comfortable with. Don't feel pressured. Um, I mean, there's a light over there, but it's kind of drizzling a little bit. And if you aren't comfortable with that, definitely. I mean, my preference is always like in a lit area, away from people, just so everybody can like, know that nobody's trying to do anything stupid.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it.
Right, right.
I think, but is this all gonna have to be on film? Like when he's starting to talk?
For everybody's safety, yes, but I'm comfortable with returning the footage when it's done. Like if we can leave amicably, I'm totally fine with giving you guys that footage.
Amicably, has it often not ended amicably?
Not often, no, but like, basically, we've had people where we do leave peacefully, and they're like, "Oh my God, they threatened me, and they had this and that," and I'm like, "Dude, it's all on film." Like, crazy shit. The other day, I was talking to somebody with his mom around, and he starts attacking his mom, and they try to say that I assaulted him. And on film, luckily, it's just me pulling him off his mom, and
Wait, so do you work for? Wait, is this like a organization?
Kid Protectors USA, absolutely. And there's people that I don't talk to everybody that we come across online. Like I only talk to people that I think are like falling into something bad rather than are bad. You know what I mean? So it's sure it's about getting help for kids to not get preyed on by adults, but it's also getting help for adults because if we help adults not talk to kids, that means kids are being saved. It takes two, man. It takes two. So yeah, it's just for safety reasons and all that. So do you don't tell me where you work, but do you work as well, or just brand? Okay. Cool.
I hate being associated with stuff like this.
Yeah, no, trust me, dude. Like, just because you're associated with him doesn't mean you're associated with his actions.
Oh hell no.
So.
Like.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, hey, man, my I got relatives who are drugs, and I've never touched a drug in my life. So, doesn't make me a drug, does it?
Right.
So.
He's like not texting back though. I can just like when this resolved.
Yeah, sure. Not answering?
Yeah.
What's the Uber saying?
I don't have. I mean, he just sent me a screenshot, but I'm not. He's not. I can't see his Uber.
Got it. Makes sense. He's calling back?
No.
Did you respond?
He texted back.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to lie. This isn't going to, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows tomorrow, but I mean, it's going to work back up to that point.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, he's not going to just have this conversation and then be like, "Oh, I'm just so happy now." No, he's going to have to think over this for sure, and it's going to probably going to weigh down on him because he's understanding the gravity. But, you know, each day is going to be that baby step to climb back up. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, when we're all said and done here, I'll give my contact information. Like I'll give my phone number. He has my number and all that. But I'm totally cool with staying in touch. And if he's willing to take Zoom therapy, that's something I'm, you know, I mean, I'm no therapist, but I do know therapists and all that. And I'm totally, you know, I'm willing to get him that help if he's willing to take that help, you know, so.
And it's just you two, or is it like a group?
Well, so, you know, we're not the only, you know, I'm not good with technology, so we have people help with that. But as for the people that are here right now, it's just me and him. Like you know, there's no goons waiting behind the corner or anything like that.
Okay. So I will literally come back in like 10 minutes.
Sure. What did he say?
He said I'm still waiting for the lift.
Okay.
I have a roommate that lives there, so I just don't need
Yeah.
everyone
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
damage control.
Yeah. Totally get it. We got a good idea. Appreciate it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Dude, I'm not calling the cops here.
He was forthcoming today.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't him that really ended the conversation. It was more just like extracurricular BS. So. Hey, Brent. Sorry about earlier, man. Okay.
Talking right now. Do you think that can we just handle this? This is uber embarrassing.
If he needs to smoke, that's fine. I understand.
He didn't smoke until today.
Oh, this is a new phenomenon for him?
No, like he quit for like 8 months.
Okay.
Okay.
What the f...
You can actually go in the garage.
Yeah, sure. Why is it like this? Let's just hold it vertically.
And can I not be on camera?
Yeah, you can just stand over this way if you want. Whatever works, or we'll find a good angle to where you're not on camera. Yeah, so like I said, Brent, I'm sorry about earlier, man.
But the smoking, please. I am.
Sorry about earlier. Were you able to finish work okay and everything? No. Did you finish work?
I did.
Okay. So you were able to finish work and all that. Okay.
Yeah, I finished, but
Oh, really? Well, that's not shit we condone, man.
It was one after another after you guys left.
God,
Constant.
well, I tell the wrong people what we're up to, and, you know, they do this stupid shit, so I really apologize for that, okay?
What do you mean?
Well, basically, you know, I notified some people that we were going to Yankee Candle, and they took it upon themselves to start calling, which I told them not to do, but just I made sure they're,
people.
yeah, just kids, man.
It
But
was-
But how did they know about this?
how do they know about this? Well, there's people,
live stream.
well, not to a big audience, but there's people that know what we do that support our mission. And, it's typically a privilege that, well, yeah, but you're hearing it from my mouth. There's people that support what we do. And, sometimes we do live stream the interactions, not publicly or anything. Like you couldn't just look up Kid Protectors USA and just find it. It's just to a select few people that support our mission. And, typically they're very well behaved. Like I tell them, hey, just stay out of it. This is just a consensual conversation. And, today they took it upon themselves to just...
So you want them to be shamed, is what you're wanting to do?
Absolutely not. That's the opposite of what we want. And, like, what they did was extremely inappropriate. And as a matter of fact...
So if he was to lose his job and then resorts to going back to these behaviors, how would you help?
Well, I think him working is probably the best thing he could do.
But if he loses his job because of these constant calls, what would you do?
That's not something I condone. I'm going to have no part of that. So,
it would be my responsibility.
well, sure, but we do. We make it a giant point to not interfere with people because I think if you're not at work, you're going to be on the phone even more. That'd be an issue. You know what I mean? Because we just don't want this to happen, right? No matter which way. So, Samir, these are the...
These live streams, people know where we live.
No, your address isn't posted anywhere. So
But you were okay.
No. We were.
Live stream.
Yeah, that's not live streamed. Yeah, that's not live streamed. Okay. So, kind of what we were talking about earlier. Do you remember where we left off? So you mentioned that I kind of asked, like, is it kind of a trend in the gay community for, kind of the older men to kind of talk to the younger crowd? You said it was. You said it happens like on Instagram, Telegram, kind of. So what have you seen with that kind of stuff? Because I don't want you to fall into because there's good trends and bad trends about everything, and I don't want you to fall into a bad one with that. You know what I mean? So where have you kind of seen that happen? What have you kind of seen with that?
A lot of Instagram.
Okay.
I've noticed a lot of Instagram. Because then what they'll use is a fake profile, and then they'll change their name or they'll change like their ages just so that they can get on Instagram.
Like, what do you mean by change the ages?
Like fake their age.
Yeah. So they'll say a different age than they actually are.
So what's an example? Like they would say they're 18 but be 13 or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Or sometimes they'll say they're 21 and they're actually like 17.
okay. So they just kind of appear older so they can kind of have an in to talk to older guys and all that.
Mhm.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I want to say on Insta you have to be a certain age
Right.
in order to even get on Insta.
100%. 100%. Okay, so today, and this is what I want to make Samir aware of, what was kind of supposed to happen. There was supposed to be some type of hangout or something today?
Just hanging out there.
Okay. Well, he didn't get a chance to read everything. I kind of awared him what's going on, but what stuff did you and Brian talk about?
Just touching.
Touching. Okay. Was there anything about well, no, just kind of, for lack of a better term, okay. So you were not aware that he was talking to any type of underage kid at all?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I figured. So I do want to ask because, like I said, we don't want to fall into bad trends, right? You asked Brian, have you ever kissed a boy? And what was kind of the point of asking him that, knowing he was 13?
Just ask him.
Right, but what was the there's questions we might have about people that we don't ask, right?
No, yeah.
But what was the point, I guess, in wanting to know that?
Curious.
Okay, why were you curious? What made you curious about that?
Is that okay?
It's just
Yeah, fair enough.
just wanting to know experiences.
Okay. Based on his answer, did you have more questions for him? Like, did you? Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
Where's my phone at?
So,
Okay. Based on his and like, were you, if he was experienced, were you planning on asking him more stuff, or if he wasn't, or what were you planning on kind of doing with that?
I was planning on asking him more questions.
Okay. To kind of maybe see where his head was at or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever give him your address at all?
No.
Okay. You don't mind chatting with me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people online would just be very immediately, and you're kind of like, I know life sucks sometimes, but remember when it does suck, that it makes you a better and stronger person. So, I mean, it looked to me you were kind of more encouraging to him and all that stuff. You weren't as, and that's what I was telling your partner here. I was telling him that, like, there is a difference kind of in your messages versus the typical, creep online, for lack of a better term. So that's why I just want to make sure we're on the right track, dude. Okay. How many times did you send him a picture?
Count.
Okay. What's your best guess, you think?
6.
6 times about? Okay. What made you, and again, I'm not judging you, man. We want to figure out the why and if it'll ever happen again. That's what I was telling him.
Oh, it will. Because I already deleted all of my social media.
Okay.
No, but he's asking how to
Yep.
answer that question so we can get this over.
Yeah. So,
I am. And you can.
No, I want to be here for that.
no, I think it's important he is here for this, man.
Because after this, I'm done.
Okay, well, let's make sure we're not saying anything.
Yeah, Brent, are you feeling? Okay. Because if you are, I will call 911.
No,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Because I know it's hard. And like, it's a terrible situation, but it's something that's going to get resolved. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So, what caused you to send him 6 pictures 6 separate times? You think? Like, what was the appeal of sending that over to Brian?
To be honest, a turn on.
A turn on.
Yeah.
But are you attracted to females at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at them.
Yeah, but
Like, no.
okay. So you would never send a to a female, right?
No.
Okay. So I'm just using an example here.
If I have, I didn't know.
Yeah, fair enough. So what about Brian turned you on to send that picture to him? Like, I can tell you when I send a picture to a female I find attractive, I'm like, yeah, well, they got me. I sent it over to them, and that's why I did it. So why with Brian? Like, what about him attracted you to send that over?
And just because of the conversations that we had.
Okay. But I guess what caused you to have that conversation with him? Because you wouldn't have that conversation with an 80-year-old grandma, would you? Right? So what about Brian, I guess for lack of a better term, just be honest, turned you on? Like, what about him?
I thought he was a good team.
Good looking. What about him was good looking to you?
Age.
Age? Okay.
Honestly, the pictures.
Okay.
The 3 pictures.
Yeah. And I appreciate your honesty on that.
And I should have known it was, like I was saying earlier, there's numerous times where I've had numerous people asking me to be friends on Instagram.
Sure.
And I should have known better.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the 3 pictures
Yeah.
on there.
Right.
And the age.
Yeah.
I should have known better.
Of course. So you mentioned age, and were you ever a kid at all?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
3 times.
what ages were you when that happened?
7 and 15, and then another 8.
Okay. So somewhere between 7 and 15.
Yeah.
Okay. What I noticed is there's a cycle that happens, and I was talking to Samir about that earlier. typically when it happens to somebody, they go ahead and perpetuate the cycle. Now, do I think you would take a 7-year-old and do anything? No, I don't. But talking to someone underage, obviously we have that here, right? So, um, and it's not fair. I don't think you were born to, I think if you weren't, I don't think you'd be texting a 13-year-old. Okay, I think that's some trauma coming out. But I do got to ask, when did you start to? You mentioned his age was attractive to you. So when did you start to have that attraction to kind of that underage age range? Like, how long has it been going on for?
Not well.
Not long. So how long were we talking?
Mm, maybe a year.
A year. Okay. What have you kind of do? What have you kind of done to, I guess, fulfill that attraction?
I'm talking to Brian.
Okay, but you weren't talking to him for a year though. You had a
No.
whole other 10 months of being attracted to younger. Where you?
Yeah.
What did you do in those 10 months?
Nothing.
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 But did you have thoughts creep in your mind? Or?
I would change my thoughts and I would focus on something else.
Okay. What do you think caused those thoughts to start
And I
creeping?
would do something to get my mind.
Okay. But those thoughts started creeping in your mind about a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think caused that?
And to be honest, I don't know.
It just started happening?
It's just my stupidity, I think.
Okay.
And what typically happens, or typically what I'll do,
Mhm.
is if things are going too good,
Yeah.
I typically find a way to sabotage that whatever's going good for me.
Okay.
I've always done that. Always.
Yeah, it's just too good to be true, and then I get what you mean, man. So we mentioned something earlier, Telegram. So I'm gonna just lay this on to you, man. Your ass had a Telegram account, straight up. I'm not gonna argue with you about that. So what I think happened is, and this is kind of what happens, people get younger, and it's a vicious cycle, man. But it's on you to break it, right? Because hey, everybody's dealt different cards in life, right? Like I'm more privileged. I grew up more privileged than a lot of people. A lot of people grew up more privileged than me, right? So I've never made excuses like, oh, they got more than me, and I hope people that had less privilege than me didn't make excuses about me being more privileged than them, right? So you were dealt a pretty bad hand growing up. It's not fair. I mean, I was as a kid, and I can't say what I would be if I was, right? But you were, and typically what a lot of people like to do, because I know you wouldn't want to hurt a 7-year-old, but that thought still creeps in their mind. It happens because I've been around the block with this type of stuff, and one of the ways they have that outlet is they kind of just look at things rather than act on things. And you mentioned that you didn't have a Telegram account, and in my experience, the more people deny having Telegram, the more bad shit they probably had on Telegram. That's just kind of.
To be honest, I didn't even know.
Okay. Well, you were last seen online in this month, okay, and you've kind of had it for a while, all right?
I don't know what. To be honest, I'm on my phone. I didn't
No,
know.
that's fine.
I had it.
That's totally fine. I'm not saying you have it now. You haven't been on there in a couple weeks, but you mentioned that some of this stuff goes on Telegram. So is Telegram more like groups, or is it individuals, or kind of both, or?
I think it's in those Facebook.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know. I haven't been on it, and I don't even remember even signing up for Telegram.
Okay. Okay. Well, what do you remember about Telegram?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. That's why I said I didn't have Telegram.
Yes, Telegram.
It's an encrypted app that people that kind of go into the wrong things use to typically look at some bad things that they shouldn't be looking at. So, look, Brent, I'm not going to argue with you about whether we had Telegram or not, because that's not, you're not stupid. You're a smart dude. I don't talk to dumb people. I'm not saying you go on Telegram, you're the head of anything, but I would be doing you a disservice if I ignored the fact that we had a problem with Telegram, okay?
Yep.
Because, I'm here to try to fix your problems, but you got to help me fix them, man. I can't be the one doing everything, right?
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't matter who's the president. If you're going to keep doing crack and not get a job, you know, your economic life's going to suck no matter we got Biden, Trump, or anybody, right? Um, so don't be this way. If I'm trying to help you, you know, no matter what I do, you got to be the one to help yourself a little bit, right? So from what I understand, I was telling him it's not just me and him that kind of do this. You know, we have smart people. I'm not smart with technology. I'm an idiot, but I have smart people that make me look pretty good. And you know, they've told me that from what they've seen is that someone's coming. Oh, no problem. Yeah, just anybody that's walking by, just let me know. I can just be quiet. Um, you know, I think what's happened to kind of make this attraction kind of snowball. I think what's been happening is people, you haven't been associating with the best people on Telegram. And I think you're starting any of the bad stuff on there? No. But do I think people got you?
Cause of it? Absolutely.
Well,
I could.
right.
Oh, my.
Right. But I think people have gotten you into some pretty bad shit on Telegram, to be honest. Okay. So just let's kind of start over. All right. I'm not judging you for having Telegram. Should I have Telegram? And I've been into this bad shit on there too. It happens to pretty much everybody, but some more than others. Um, who introduced you to Telegram? We'll start with that. How'd you get introduced to it?
To be honest, I don't remember who introduced. It might have been somebody on Instagram
Okay. Do you remember who it could have been?
wanted me to download the app.
How long ago was this?
A while ago.
Okay. Got it. Um,
And then they were telling me different stuff about themselves
Mhm.
on it. And then, like, age, obviously.
yeah. Do you think, let me just ask you this straight up. Do you think that some stuff on Telegram that's been sent to you is probably inappropriate?
Yeah.
Okay. And by inappropriate, I don't mean, you know, 25-year-old, I mean underage stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is important for Samir to know because, you know, if y'all watch his own time, you know, I don't necessarily agree with it, but, you know, it's legal no matter where our morals are with that. Might be different, but obviously underage, like it's right. So I think Brent, for Samir's sake, because he wants to help you, man. You know, he was telling me he doesn't condone anything here. He wasn't defending you, but he's definitely there for you. You know, and that's probably the best. Tough love is the best situation here. You know what I mean? So when did it kind of the underage stuff start flowing your way on Telegram? Like what happened with that?
Like I was saying, Aaron, thank you. About a conference,
Good. Okay. Yeah. So what happened with that?
So I would say there was a lot of manipulation on that end,
Okay.
where they would try to or want to meet up and say, "Oh, can you lend me like $2?"
Mm-hmm.
And so like it would just snowball from that, and then I would block that person.
Okay.
And
Well,
then somebody else would come along
right.
with a new Instagram profile.
Yeah. Well,
And
Brent,
then we-
I'm talking about. I think what happened is people were sending you underage stuff on Telegram. Okay. Can you? So I get scammers. You know, fuck them. You can't be falling for that shit. That's solely on you, man. But
Totally.
yeah. But tell me about like kind of because it's important to know what they're posting to get people. You know, cause it makes your mind go to this stuff. Because I don't think, you know, if you didn't see any of this stuff, I don't think you'd be this, you know, doing this. I think you see something, then you put that ID on paper here to Brian, right? So What stuff have kind of people been sending you on Telegram that's contained like underage like that?
It would be pictures.
Okay.
Um,
Of boys or girls or both or
well, just boy.
boys? Okay. What about videos?
A few.
Okay. So is it if you get sent I guess what percentage would be
It would-
pictures, what
it
percentage would
would
be
be
videos?
A lot more pictures
Than videos?
videos.
Okay. So what percentage would be videos, you think?
Maybe 5-10%.
Okay, so if you get sent 10 files, one would be a video, nine would be pictures. Okay, fair enough. What were the age ranges of the boys they were sending?
All the way from 13 to 16,
Okay.
17.
Sure. So what could you see on those boys?
Sometimes it would be not head,
Okay, just
but from like here,
okay.
like your torso.
Sure.
Or sometimes it would be a full body.
So head to toe.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate to.
Or, back,
Okay, so front or back. Okay. What indicators made you know they were 13 to 16, or did they just say straight up they were that, or did they look that, or what was it?
It looked.
It looked that. Okay. So it definitely was underage shit.
Yes.
Okay. So on the videos, what would what would happen in those?
So typically it would just be, like I said, it wouldn't be head.
Sure.
Or if it wasn't anything, it would be like shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Or not clear.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough to kind of see what's going on.
Brent, people on Telegram give no f***s. What do they send that were in the videos?
But that's what I've seen.
Okay.
A lot of them was of kids
Okay.
playing with themselves or somebody else playing with them.
Okay. So were these kids always boys or girls too, or
Just boys.
just boys? Okay. Were the people playing with them, was it always was it an adult or another boy or?
To be honest, I couldn't see. All I could see was that a hand, or if it was somebody that was probably a
Okay.
kid also,
Mhm.
or the child,
Okay.
or it was them actually playing with themselves.
Okay. And by playing with themselves, you mean like a kid like or something like that. Okay. So when we use the word, that's typically not a word associated with 15, 16-year-olds. And so, look, do I think you have a thing for teens? Yeah. Do I think they can be fixed? Absolutely. But, people on Telegram, America's pretty strict with what they allow. But if we're talking like if we're talking, some of these other countries that, they don't really have the FBI or anything like that. It's kind of like a free for all with what they can kind of post, produce, and all that stuff. And I think a way that you can kind of be part of the solution here rather than the problem is in a way by kind of identifying what they're posting. So look, I think you told me 13 to 16 because that's probably what you were looking for, to be honest. But if we're talking to somebody from if we're talking to somebody from not the USA, they're going to send some crazy shit. Like if we're talking Russia, Ukraine, Mexico, they're crazy over there with what they send. Okay, so just be real, man. I think your limit's probably 13, but do I think that's the youngest that was sent to you? Absolutely not. I mean, that just wouldn't make any logical sense. Because if you're using the word, I think we're talking very young. Okay, so what's the youngest age you think they actually sent? I'm not mad at you. Okay, I'm just asking what they sent.
There was one that was not from him, obviously.
Right, you could tell. Was it like foreign?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably that way. They're super young.
Like 8 to 10.
Okay, was it a boy? What was happening to the boy?
They would be untouched.
There would be, oh, being touched. Okay. Was there any sex being performed, or was it just or what was going on? A- Okay. Could you see who was a? Okay. Did it look like a female or a male doing it to him?
It looked like a male.
Okay.
Just because of the hands.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. So let me ask this, especially if you had Telegram. Like, if you can't remember who got you to Telegram, then it's been quite a bit. Did they usually send these videos on like mega links, or was it they straight up send you the videos? How did they kind of send that send that stuff?
Just send out.
And what about mega links? Anything with that? Like any links? They ever sent?
He doesn't know what that means.
Yeah.
No, it would just be like, yeah, here's a video. Or here's a
Yeah.
video. It wouldn't be like
Like a link to that stuff.
Go to this
Okay.
page
Okay.
to look at this.
Yeah.
No. It
Yeah.
Was,
Well, if he knew what that was, he would say it. So obviously, yeah, he doesn't. Okay, so kind of, like I said, I got nerds, right? I'm not a nerd, but I got nerds that can kind of see shit, and I think that eight's pretty damn young, but I think there's some really fucked up people you came across on there that have sent you videos of like we're talking babies. I think that's what happened. Would I be wrong about that? I'm wrong about that?
no,
Okay, so people have sent babies.
not like baby.
What age do you think?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to give you.
But they were.
Okay. Well, anything with like an infant at all?
No.
No. Okay. So you think 5 is probably the line of what you saw? Okay. What would they be doing to 5-year-olds?
Same.
Like just them?
Just touching.
Okay. How long were these?
Showing.
Okay. How long do these videos typically last? Like talking 20 minutes or a few? Or
5, 10 minutes.
5 or 10 minutes? Okay.
Like clips, short clips.
Okay. Do you think the clips were from like a bigger video?
Nothing like full video.
Mhm.
It's just more of clips.
Okay. Were there any where the boys looked like they were in pain or anything like that, or
No.
no? What were their expressions usually like?
From what I could see,
Mhm.
it wasn't. You could tell like something was happening
Sure.
if I got to see their face.
Okay.
Like I said, sometimes it wouldn't be an actual whole
Yeah.
face,
Sure.
but sometimes it would be like, they're laughing.
They're laughing when it's happening.
Right.
Jesus.
And maybe it's just because of
Nervousness.
Nervous.
Yeah, of course.
this or not really saying anything.
hmm So would they send these videos in like a group setting, like with a bunch of people there? Or would they send it to you individually, or how'd that? Okay. So logically, the next question would be, how many times have you traded with somebody with that type of stuff?
I haven't.
Brent, do
Not with
you,
that young.
okay, what's the youngest you've traded with, you think?
16, 15.
Who you fooling, Brent?
To be honest.
I am being honest. I don't, like I said, I don't even remember Telegram.
But you remember all those videos?
Yeah.
Okay, so was that somewhere else besides Telegram, or?
No.
Okay, there you go. I mean, you were wearing like a Pride baseball jersey. Do you kind of keep up with sports a little bit?
No.
No, that was just okay. All right, well, that threw me off.
Pride baseball shirt.
Yeah, it's like he's a jersey that says like Pride on there or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't keep up with any type of sport.
Well, you know who LeBron James is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who? I'm trying to think of a Timberwolves player. Do you know who? I really can't think of a Timberwolves. I mean, Anthony Edwards, but that'd be a pretty even trade at this point.
He doesn't know. I don't think he knows sports.
Right. But you know who LeBron James is, right? Do you know who Austin Rivers is?
No.
Exactly. So he's some nobody. He's some nobody that you know, he's all right, but he's not nothing nothing. He's nothing special. Do you think anybody would trade LeBron James for Austin Rivers? Yeah, because it's LeBron fucking James and there's Austin nobody Rivers, right? So it's kind of like that with weird analogy, kind of like that with nobody's sending you videos of 5 and 6 year olds in return for a 15-year-old picture you can probably find on Google if you search hard enough. All right, that's not fooling anybody. Let me ask you this: did you ever take something that was super young that somebody sent, just forward it to somebody else? No. Okay. So realistically, what do you think is the youngest age that you've sent to people and traded yourself?
Well, Brian, obviously.
No, but I'm talking about a kid. What's the youngest age you've sent to somebody that's been a kid?
As far as I know, just Brian.
Okay.
Is, I mean, I know that other I have sent on Telegram.
Yes, but I mean.
But as far as age
Mhm.
goes,
No, that's not the question.
Yeah,
Asking you.
right.
I'm asking you like the pictures or the videos you got.
Right.
Who did you send? Did you send that to someone else?
Right, because Brent, nobody's sending you videos of a 5-year-old unless they get something in return. I know how that works. So what did you send them in return? Is what I'm asking.
a picture of me.
I don't think that's the case, dude. Did you?
It was.
Okay, but you said you also took. You also had like 16, 15-year-olds that you sent to other people.
I haven't sent. I don't send any of that to
Okay.
anybody.
So you've only received, pretty
Yeah.
much. Okay.
So how do we come to a conclusion or like?
I don't.
Yeah. No. Sure.
Don't recall sending that.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any names of anybody who?
No.
Okay. Do you know what countries they were from? Like, do they have any American names, foreign names, or?
Some of them was foreign.
Okay. Yeah. What time is it?
11.
11. 11 what?
10:57.
10:57. Okay.
11.
Got it. Well, yeah. I think we're done here. Was that happening like on a computer, or you have an iPhone, Android, or
iPhone.
iPhone? Okay. Is there any device you use to be secretive with that, or is it just all on your iPhone? Okay. All right. Well, Samir, like I said, obviously, like I said, we didn't go through all these. So if you want to look through them, that's yours to keep. Brent, I'm not going to hassle you. I trust Samir to take care of this shit with you, okay? But if I see you online again, it's not going to be
I'm not.
I know. I'm letting him know.
No, I'm letting you know and him know.
All right. Well,
So
all right.
what's gonna happen with this? No, it's not about today. It's about 3 weeks from now.
Absolutely.
A year from now.
Absolutely. All right. Well, just stay on the right path. He knows best. So.
Who knows best?
I do.
No.
No, you don't.
No, I do.
I think that's the worst thing you could have possibly said, Brent.
Well, he knows. He's saying he knows better than to do this again.
Right. Okay.
So
All right.
what happens with this? Is this going to be broadcast online?
I'm not here to put him on blast. Like I said, that's for your all safety. But Brent,
For our safety.
yeah, I mean, people like can throw shit. Oh my God, you threatened all that. I'm not doing that shit. All right, Brent, I appreciate your time, man. You take care. Samir, sorry to meet you under these circumstances, man. You take care, okay? And we talked to him there at Mall of America for like about 15 minutes, and then, security got involved, and, we left amicably. Yep. And then I got in touch with him after he got off work. I was like, hey, let's just go finish this conversation after work. He's like, that's fine. I didn't tell security what was going on or anything. I just left. And, we finished interviewing him at his home in Minneapolis. But he's doing the texting here at Mall of America. Okay. And, he admitted that he did send people, that he did, say he wants to touch and all that stuff, and that he's talked to other minors online. And the key thing is that he admitted to receiving. He said he's young as 5 years old. He described the videos in detail of what he watched. And he alluded to trading as well, but then he's like, well, I've actually never traded it. But he was adamant that he's only received it and could describe that pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just start with, what's this person's first name?
It's a Brent, Brent.
B-E.
Brent. My bad. And then that's correct.
Okay. You know, I'm assuming you probably don't know date of birth.
He's 42.
42.
Yeah. The exact DOB we don't have.
Okay.
And his address is 6. Yeah, let me look it up real quick. I think it's Colony. Yeah.
How do you spell it? You said
Yeah. And that's in Minneapolis.
okay. Just describe him for me.
He's about 5'8", maybe 5'8". Very skinny build. He's white, and he has a mostly gray hair.
You say what colored hair?
Mostly gray hair.
Gray.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah.
You said beard.
Barely, like a stubble.
Okay.
And we got pics of him and all that shit.
Okay. I'm sure you guys videoed everything.
Yeah, of course.
So what was the? I guess I would have to watch one of your guys' videos again, but how is it that you contact these people? Is it through like Tinder? Is it through like Grindr or like?
Yeah. So in this case, he used Instagram to reach out to our decoy.
Okay, Instagram was the first contact. Like he
yes
slid it or
yeah he slid into our DMs. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so,
yeah, we always let them reach out.
when was that first time?
It would have been sometime in April. I don't have the exact date, but
April.
you just say early April.
April. Okay. Would you be able to look like in actual Instagram and see when it was?
Yeah, but right now I'm not logged into the account on this phone, so.
Okay. Would you be able to just sign into that account? That would be super helpful, and I could take pictures of everything. And
yeah, let me.
So basically, I'll kind of explain our process.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get all your guys' information. I'm gonna get camera footage if you have camera footage. If you have a way to send it to me.
Yeah, if you have an email card.
Yep.
Actually, I think April 13th would be the first
13th.
day. Yeah.
Like about what time?
No.
Okay. And what did he say?
Well, in the chat, the key points where he sent a picture. He wanted to have mutual with him, the 13-year-old boy. He asked him to come over to his work, and he multiple times was like, "I want to meet up with you. I want to see you." Blah 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 blah. He did say at his work yesterday, though, that like, just today I don't want to, we'll just hang out. But he did say in the future that he doesn't want to do stuff together and all that. Just not at his job, obviously, at Mall of America. But yeah, that was in the chats and in person. When we talked to him, he willingly talked to us. Like, I didn't threaten him or anything like that. And he just was like, yeah, I knew he was 13. I said, sure. I talked about this. And then the chat stuff, he just divulged that to me. That was not in any messages, but he just talked about what he's seen online and what he watches and all that. And yeah.
Okay. Do you have a way to just show me that stuff, or?
Yeah, should be on that.
If you want to support the predator poachers catching the sickest both near and far, go to the pinned comment. If you're on Rumble, press the red join button to see over 30 videos early and uncensored for only $8 a month. We can't do this without your help, so join our locals.